so much. Oh my gosh. What would we do without you guys? Really gets me landed in the space. So good morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Awareness in Eureka, California. I have to tell you, today I printed out all my notes and then promptly left them on the computer. So I don't know what we're going to do today, but hopefully it'll be fun. I want to ask all of you to please turn off your cell phones, because you know how cell phones do. They never ring when we're at home and could take the call. But when we step out and there's something else going on, they see that as their moment. So,
especially meditation.
Yes, exactly. So we always start here with an acknowledgement of our ancestral lands. The Eureka Center for Spiritual Living acknowledges that the land on which we gather is the ancestral territory of the Wiyot peoples. This territory extends to the communities through most of Humboldt County, and we honor the Wiyot peoples today. Ho. So I want to welcome anyone who's new, anyone who's joining us on Zoom, anyone. There is no Zoom today. There will be soon, according to Ari. There is Zoom.
Angelica can't get on.
Oh, there is Zoom, but not for Angelica. So, Zoomers, this is probably your moment. You know, no one's watching. So we want to welcome anyone who is new. If you are new, we have copies of our newsletter in the lobby for you, so you can see everything that is going on this month. And if you are not on our email distribution, we invite you to please sign up in the lobby. There's a little book there, and you can put down your email address so we can make sure and send you Angelica's Friday messages and our monthly newsletter and our weekly newsletters. So anyway, please, please, please facilitate us being able to do that. So I want to start this morning by talking about what I did this weekend. This was the first Friday night market of the season, and so I'm happy to report that all 30,000 of us were there. It was crazy! But if you have an introvert streak like me and your cup gets filled up, I know, right? Who would have thought? And your cup gets filled up by seeing people, I really encourage you to go out. It will not be as crazy as it was this week. It seems like every year the first week is insane, and then it kind of mellows out a little bit. But oh my gosh, it was just such a good time. Amazing vendors, amazing food, amazing just celebration of the Old Town area in Eureka. And so anyway, I can't say enough about it. And Arts Alive continues through the summer while it's going on as well. So last night was Arts Alive, a quieter, calmer way to experience that part of town. So something for everyone. There's also something else that's going on this weekend and next that I would really love to say something about, because I'd never been to it before. And it is such a special thing. So there's a full color brochure, and that is for Open Studios.
Thank you, Vanna.
Yeah, is it higher? Is it good?
It's great.
Okay, good. And so what this does is it lists all the artists in town and craftspeople who are opening their workspaces, their artist studios, to us, to come hang out with them and experience where they make their craft. And it is so wonderful. It's so sublime to see their creative spaces and to get to talk to them about their process. And David, yesterday we went to, because everything we went to was so exciting. We went to one where a woman makes mosaics all out of glass, and it's like she's painting with glass. It's unbelievable. We saw woodworking spaces, we saw painting, and we saw printmaking, and it's all free unless you buy something. And I was like, I'm not buying anything. And then I got there, and I mean, woo, that went out the window. So anyway, but it really is the best kind of shop local you can possibly think of, right? Because you're buying directly from the creator of something very moving. And so anyway, I have a couple things I want to share with you because everybody loves a visual aid, right? And so anyway, the first things I bought were from our very own Marianne Testagrossa. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. She is on Instagram, and she also has work up at Frankie's. But better than that, her studio is open today, and it's near Henderson Center, so go see her. Anyway, the first one I got was this one. And I just love it because you know how robin's eggs are blue, and it's printed on blue paper. She's known for her cats, but I went in a different direction and then felt weird that I wasn't buying anything with a cat on it. And then this one, which I'm going to hang up in my office, it says, "Be kind whenever possible, and it is always possible." Yeah. So this one goes up where I can see it from my desk. Yeah. And then I went over to another artist place. This is an artist named Daniel Scott Marcus. How great is that, right? He had this one up in a public space for a while, and I just loved it. And every time I went, and there's just something about the goldfish's expression that just brings me so much joy. And then all the vibrant color, right? And do you guys remember on Ted Lasso, that show, when one of the sayings was, "Be the goldfish"? And the whole idea was that a goldfish has a very short seconds, short-term memory. And so when something goes bad, they just hit it and move on because they can't remember, right? And so the challenge that was made on that show to all of us is when something goes bad, okay, perhaps you reflect for a moment, but then you let it go. You don't dwell on the challenge. Instead, you focus on the present moment. And so I thought, man, if I could have something this vibrant hanging in my house where I see it to remind myself to act that way, why would I not? Why would I not, right? So anyway, Marianne and Daniel's places are both open today. They're not open next weekend, and there are so many other artists that are open Saturday and Sunday next weekend as well. So thank you for indulging me. It was such a great experience, and I would love for you all to have that as well.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Uh-oh. It doesn't work? Okay, cool. Somebody said it doesn't work. Okay, so... Did it? Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, so, Donna, shall we go to a song?
Please stand with me. So you're on commission for the Artist Studios,
I am,
right?
yes.
I'm stepping out into a world of possibility. I'm stepping out into a whole new way to live. That's not tempo. Well, so much waiting for me. The path is clear before me. I've got so much that I have yet to give. I'm stepping out and I'm committed to integrity. I'm stepping out, releasing every fear and doubt. The road just keeps on turning. Every turn I'm learning what this life is all about. 3 times total. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out. Now we end it. I'm stepping out. Thank you. So I also want to remind you, bring in your plastic jugs that have a lid for a friend of mine who's helping some houseless people have water. Thank you.
Excellent reminder. Thank you, Donna. All right, so let's welcome each other. What I'd invite you to say today is to turn to somebody else and say, "You are loved," right? So let's say the first part together. We are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. All right, so here's our lineup of what's going on this week at church. There is a lot going on once again, which is so exciting. Also, as you will note, Friday is your free night, so you can make it out to the Friday night market if you'd like. Plug, plug, plug. So this week, we are doing Brave, Vulnerable Conversations again on Thursday morning. Again, this is a drop-in group. You can come anytime you like. And we have 2 sessions of the men's support group that are coming up later this month. Uh-oh.
We're actually going to cancel them because of Twice Nights.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Yeah.
We'll end up being...
Okay. Edward's taking this slide in a different direction. He said we're actually going to cancel. Are we canceling both?
Both.
Okay, we're canceling both sessions of men's support group. No? Just the first one?
The first one.
Just the first one. Okay. We're just canceling the 14th because of the Twice Nice sale, because you know this place. Woo! So thank you, Edward, for that clarification. We will be.
I told you guys so you could meet in this room.
Oh, for 14th?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to have stuff in it.
No, it won't have it
until Sunday. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's not canceled.
Men's group is back on. So strike everything I just said from the record. We are mating both times this month. Be there in this room. All right, so the Twice Nice sale. Here comes the Angelica.
Okay, I'm going to move this to the next one, though.
Yeah, the next one's good.
All right. You could see here's a little schedule here. But you know what? Before I talk to you about Twice Nice, I have something else to say that I think is really wonderful. You know, we're blessed by this person who does so much around our center to help us look beautiful. And she has a big thing happening, or has had it happen, and it's going to be celebrated this week. Amy is now a U.S. citizen. We're really happy about that. I mean, you were really good before you became a citizen, but now that just adds some glitter, right? Some sparkle.
I won't be scared anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Twice Nice. Today, Brian made sure that the tables were up in the fellowship hall so that they could be, the round ones need to be taken down and rolled into the closet, the little storage room by the kitchen, and the rectangle ones need to be put up. So if people could stay afterwards and do that, it'll happen real quickly. Then Monday through Friday, we're going to be here from 10 to 5 p.m. sorting and pricing and getting everything taken care of. And so Rose and I are going to be switching off as to who comes in and unlocks the door and all that stuff. But so even while that's happening it starts tomorrow, right? But even while that's happening, classes and meetings will be happening here because I didn't want to have our students miss too. So everybody is invited to come for an hour, for 2 hours, for a whole day, for the week, whatever you'd like, to come and price. And I'm inviting people to bring some jokes to share while we're working, because I'm so tired of, yeah, you know what I mean. Thank you very much.
All right, so yeah, if we can all, many hands light work when it comes to Twice Nice. So if you have some time to help out this week or after service today, that would be fantastic.
And absolutely required.
And I don't know, that doesn't really seem to fit with the whole volunteering part of it. But anyway, it's appreciated. Yes, it is strongly appreciated. So our practitioners are here to meet with you after service. Could our practitioners stand up so that people who don't know you perhaps could see your faces? Yay! Thank you so much. We are still taking reservations for the SOAR conference for all of the Centers for Spiritual Living across the world. It's going to be held in Canada this year. And I should clarify, when I say we, I mean the greater we. We're not taking them here. But some people from our center are going. So anyway, if that calls to you, please go.
And there's only a few more spaces.
Only a few more spaces. Also, our little pantry needs to be fed. It's in the other room, and anyway, next time you hit up Winco, get a few more things. Pop-top cans are especially appreciated. Costco is great too. Yeah, thank you, bro. So here is our theme for this month. I simply adore this slide. Thank you so much, Scott. It's so good. And the reason I love it so much is, one, it's got the swallows, right? What a wonderful symbolic bird. And then, can you see how tiny her suitcase is? Whew. I aspire to travel that way. It's never happened, but if it does, there will be pictures. So we're going to have one more song before we go into our meditation. Thank you, Donna.
Into my heart, into my heart, come into my heart, sweet Spirit, come in today, come in to stay, come into my heart, sweet Spirit. Into my heart, come into my heart, sweet Spirit, come in today, come in to stay, come into my heart, sweet Spirit.
Now, Scott, for our meditation. Thank you.
Good morning. This segment of our service is a short moment of peace, contemplative meditation, also called that. In our practitioner group, we practitioners get together once a month for a meeting, and we are all reading a book, and we discuss various issues regarding the center. And the book that we have been reading this year, which this poor book has been dropped in a puddle, had coffee spilled on it. I stuck it on a wet table, and yet it still continues to work. The book that we are reading this year is called Healing by Words Alone, and it is compiled by Ruth L. Miller, and she took a look at a lot of the people who are responsible for the New Thought movement, and a lot of them in the 1800s into the 1900s. People like Mary Baker Eddy and Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, and you can read the book if you would like, if you can find it online. But one of them in particular stood out to me that we were reading this last month, and it was a man I had not heard of before. His name was Emmett Fox. He's well known within AA circles because of what he espouses. So he was born in Ireland, July 30th, 1886, the son of a physician, and was also a member of Parliament. And he wrote some amazing thoughts. So he talks about treating, and treating, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you one little paragraph that he wrote. Treating is our form of affirmative prayer, and I'm going to read this, and then there will be silence for a moment. Jackson will play some music. I will come back and do a treatment. Jackson will play some music, and then Angelica will speak to us. So he was talking about how to heal, and he mentions in healing hearts and lives there are 3 steps. Know the truth. As necessary, treat the treatment. And then the thing that really got to me, that I really liked, was as necessary, treat the because. Because we say, well, it can't happen because. And so this is what he wrote about that, and I think it's so appropriate for today. When you find yourself thinking that your prayer cannot be answered for any reason, whatever, treat that reason. When something says to you that you cannot demonstrate because, treat the because. When you think I cannot demonstrate because I have not enough understanding, treat for understanding. When you think I cannot treat because I have a headache, treat the headache. When you think I cannot demonstrate because I am full of doubts, treat the doubts. When you think I cannot demonstrate because it is now too late, treat against the time illusion. When you think I cannot demonstrate in this part of the country, treat against the space illusion. When you think I cannot demonstrate this thing because of my age, treat your age belief. When you think I cannot demonstrate because someone else will hinder me, treat the belief in a power other than God. No matter what name the because may give itself, it is still your belief in limitation. Be loyal to God and know that He and He alone has all power. Treat the because.
together now and forever. Spirit and I are
I offer this treatment in the first person so that each of us can feel it within. I am part of, I am infused with, I am of one giant, immeasurable, significant energy and force that is within and throughout the entire universe. How can I imagine myself to be small? When I doubt that I have the ability to manifest what it is that I want, I remind myself that I am connected to this large, powerful force, and I realize what I can do. When I feel that I am sick, I realize that I can bring health by merely thinking about it. When I think that I am too poor, I get in touch with the immense wealth of the universe. When I doubt, I realize how strong I am. And I look at my life and realize how great it is and how great it continues to be, and it is just a small piece of what I am capable of when I get out of my own way. So knowing that is the case, I step to the side and I allow the universe and divine spirit to flow through me in every single thing that I do. I embrace it, I welcome it, I accept it, and I am excited by what is coming. And with immense gratitude, I breathe joy into myself and into the universe, knowing that all is turning out just as it needs to be. And I release these words into the universal law of mind, knowing that they are happening with so much more power than I could ever possibly imagine. And for that too, I am grateful. And I close this treatment by saying, and so it is.
I am the light and I am the source. I live in integrity. I am the love and love is the way. Spirit unfolds through me.
Thank you, Jackson. And now I want to also say thank you to everybody who showed up at my wife's studio yesterday, including Angelica. She's at home still doing stuff.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all. So we're on our 6th month of our spiritual journey to higher consciousness. And, you know, it sort of surprises me. My goodness, this is almost half a year is over? How did that happen? But one of the things I know that over the months, we've explored some really rich qualities of spiritual living. And I thought it was interesting when Tiffany said, welcome to the the Eureka Center for Spiritual Awareness, she said, instead of spiritual living. I went, wow, I like that. That's a good one. But as I was thinking about this journey that we're taking, I want to tell you that this started out as my journey. I wanted to move to a higher consciousness by the end of the year, and luckily I get to take you all with me. So I've been really working on continuing to have a deeper awareness of spirit as me, spirit as you, spirit as absolutely everything. And as I was thinking about this whole idea of feather-like faith, it came about because in a lot of my meditations, memories come up, and then out of that memory comes a spiritual lesson for me. So the memory for this one was another one from the ship. So one morning I woke up and it was really, really foggy. I mean, even my balcony was soaking wet. And, I looked out the window and there was just fog. I mean, you could hardly see anything. And I'm looking out there going, I said I wanted to see a whale. I wanted to see dolphins. I wanted to see something on this transatlantic cruise. And all of a sudden, out of the fog pops 5 huge white birds. And they're flying up there. And I'm looking at them, and I swear to God, their wings were so big that when I finished looking at them, I had to come in and check on my phone, what are these birds? Well, they're albatross. Albatross have a 9 foot 8 inch. That's their average wingspan. 9 feet. That's taller than me. Right? I mean, here's this bird. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And they spend most of their time in the air. Very rarely do they land. And the only reason, well, they do land in the water because they eat fish, but one of the few times that they do land on Earth, it's to lay eggs, to bring more albatross into the world. And I thought, wow, this is really, it just blows me away. Because here's a bird, or, I'm an animal person, and here's something that I had no idea was even around. And then, they're amazing to me. But what they did was become a perfect symbol to me of what it means to travel light, to trust the journey. I mean, this bird does it naturally, but, could I spend every part of my life except when I went to lay an egg flying through the air, rarely ever touching ground, feeling something solid under my feet? And so this meant to me to trust the journey even when I can't see the whole path, right? And they didn't flap like crazy or try to resist the fog. And one of the things I discovered was that when I looked them up was that they have the ability to keep their wings straight for hours and hours. And not only that, but they have 2 little tubes along the side of their beak to let in air that shows them how fast they're going. Or, it's like a speedometer, yeah. And I thought, wow. So they ride the wind with grace. And sometimes in our lives, things are kind of foggy. And we're longing for clear skies, and we want land in sight. But Spirit is constantly inviting us to trust the unseen. Constantly. To allow life to carry us through the fog, knowing that life will sustain us. So what I know is that feather-light faith isn't about denying the fog. It's about trusting that even in uncertainty, we're being supported. And I know that this journey for me, so far this year, has been about elevating my faith to a higher degree. And so I looked at what have I thought about this idea of faith. Well, when I was younger, in my Catholic school days, I was taught that faith had to be worked at, and it was a hard thing to achieve. And, I had to prove it. I had to earn it. And it was always demonstrated through struggle. Now I'm starting to realize that as I move into a higher consciousness, it, as we all do, it invites us to a different kind of faith. This one that I'm talking about, that's feather light, that's light, open, and trusting. And so I started thinking about feathers, and I have saved feathers from, crows and, all different kinds of birds over there. And what I know is that they're really delicate, right? Yet they're perfectly designed to do the job that they're meant to do. Is that feathers seem to work with an invisible force. They're trusting the air. Actually, the creature that has the feathers is trusting the air. But that made me start thinking about a quote that I love that Emma Curtis Hopkins said. Emma Curtis Hopkins, if you don't know, is considered like the mother of a new thought. She was a very wonderfully educated woman, and I finally found a picture of her the other day online, and she's like, she has, her hair all up and, very strict looking. But when you read her books, she doesn't sound like that at all. But she says, this is the quote I love: "There is good for me, and I ought to have it. I praise and rejoice that the good now flows to me and through me without resistance." That phrase, without resistance, is what I'm talking about when I talk about feather-light faith. In other words, we're trusting that the good, or God, or the force, or divine mind, or whatever you want to call it, is moving through us already. We don't have to do anything to have it work. And in fact, you know that I've stood here and said to you many, many times, every cell and atom of this body is God. Every single atom in this is God. Every single atom in everything, the air we're breathing in everything, is this divine energy. There isn't anything but this divine energy. And so letting ourselves breathe into that idea and letting it work through us is a wonderful thing. And then when I'm looking at this idea of feathers being my metaphor, I thought, feather can't fly by itself. It needs a bunch of feathers with it, right? So a single feather can't lift a bird alone. It can't lift us alone. And so in harmony with others forming a wing, flight becomes possible. We are like individual feathers in this consciousness that is raising up. So what I know is that in community, our faith is strengthened. In community, we have somebody to talk to that will help us see how things can work, the possibilities of life, and helps us reinforce this idea of faith, having faith in our word, having faith in our thoughts, having faith in knowing that we're always supported 100%. So when we falter, when one of us gets sick or, is having a hard time, there's always people to talk to. Or I've had many people tell me that this is just what I needed to come into this group, because it's loving, it's supportive, and you don't even have to talk to anybody to feel that. I'll never forget Dr. Sattler was up there giving a wonderful talk one day, and then I walked out with him afterwards, and he said, I don't know what you're doing here, but keep doing it. And I said, why is that? And he goes, everybody is so loving. The energy in this place is so warm and welcoming. I said, well, it was that way when I came here. He goes, I said to him, well, maybe you weren't in that place then. He didn't like that particularly, but, you're bringing in your consciousness, right? So when we embody this idea of feather-light faith, I know that some of the things that we need to do is when we have to let go of striving. Striving to me is a word that means hard work. You strive to do something. And just allow ourselves to let it go. The other thing I thought of is that, and these of course are in my meditation about me, I need to let go of control. I don't have to control the universe. The universe knows exactly what it's doing. Sometimes I don't think it's doing a very good job. But, you know, that's my thinking. So, and the major thing I have to let go of is fear. Somebody told me one time about something called a Messiah complex. Well, if I get really enlightened, they're gonna do something to me, right? They're gonna kill you if you really let yourself be what you want to be. And so that fear of being too much, or the fear of losing it, you know, not having it anymore, whatever. So we have to release this idea of striving or control or fear. What we need to embrace, and this is what I really like, we embrace trust. When you were little, if you had a good relationship with your mother, she would say something and you believed her. You trusted her. There's a part of me that loves the image of the divine as the great mother. And I see myself sometimes in my meditation climbing on the great mother's lap. And she has big thighs and, you know, big bosoms. And leaning my head against her breast and feeling that divine love just flowing out of her and knowing that I can trust her. Absolutely knowing that I can trust. The other thing we have to embrace is openness. I know that there's been many times in my life where something's happened and I don't want to tell anybody because maybe I acted inappropriately or, you know, got mad at somebody or did something that they're not going to think is spiritual. And so I closed down. And you know, when you close down in one area, you close down in them all, whether you know it or not. You might think, oh, well, I'll just put this side away and it's not going to affect the rest of me. Oh, yes, it does. So being open is a really important component to having the faith that we want to have. And my last thing that we really need to embrace is surrender. I have to surrender. I've had to surrender everything I thought about the divine or was taught as a child. Surrender it all so that I could incorporate in my mind new ideas about that thing that I am already. Where I can uncover the things that are saying, oh no, you're not. So trust and openness and surrender. And here's another quote from Emma Curtis Hopkins. There is nothing to fear. The light of truth is my safety. The wisdom of spirit is my guide. The strength of the Almighty bears me up. That's such a powerful affirmation to use. There's nothing to fear. The light of truth is my safety. That light of truth is within you right now. The wisdom of spirit is my guide. That wisdom of spirit is within you right now. The strength of the Almighty bears us up constantly. You know, when I think of this wisdom of spirit, one of the things I think is that our intuition is like the translation device for the voice of the divine. You know, I had this feeling a long time ago that if God was to speak to me, it would be so loud and so bold and you know, whatever, that I wouldn't really be able to take it in. So I like the idea that my intuition, it translates that voice and gives me the next thing to do or the ideas or whatever. And you all know that we've all had experiences when we've had a really strong intuition about something, but then we didn't honor it. Nah, that's not possible. and then something happened in our life and went, oh, I should have paid attention. Another part of this developing our faith, or allowing ourselves to have this featherlight faith, is paying attention to our intuition and letting it guide us. Because it's not going to guide us wrongly. It's always going to guide us into the next best thing. So what I know is that featherlight faith is not fragile. It's resilient, it's buoyant, and it's connected. It's connected to absolutely everything. Let yourself this week play with this idea of letting your faith be lighter than it's been before. Knowing that the universe is supporting you in doing this all the time. So let's go into prayer. I recognize that there is one infinite presence, one divine mind, one wise and ever creative expression that is constantly moving in, as, and through us. This presence is our life. This presence is the I am consciousness that each one of us already have. And so I celebrate this with every fiber of my being, this I am consciousness. And I choose this week to allow myself to have this idea, to mull over or contemplate this idea of featherlight faith. I let go of everything that has prevented me from really experiencing the conscious awareness that spirit is all there is. Absolutely. It is us. It is everything around us. And it has only our highest good in mind. How could it have anything else for itself? Because that's what we are. Itself. A unique, individualized expression of itself. So I know that as we allow ourselves to move beyond the faith of our past into a new faith, we walk this journey that we're taking together with a sense of lightness of being. And we know that no matter if it's our life, our family's life, the lives of the people that we know, the lives of this country, the lives of our planet, it's all divine energy. And we know that this divine energy is good. So we allow it to do its work in a wonderful way, and we're grateful for it. Absolutely grateful. I release these words into the law of mind, knowing that they are already so, and so it is. And Anna is our musician this morning, so let's give her a welcome.
Are you feeling all right? Alrighty then. It's a sing-along tonight, and today, and one you know well, I'm sure, all you people out there. And I want you to sing along. There's only one thing you can do wrong with me, is if you keep your mouth closed. And even if you don't want to sing, just do. And I won't look at you and go. And I did backstage security at Reggae on the River for 25 years, and I was on the board of Mateel. And we'd be at the campgrounds, 4 days in a row, and every day they'd start at 9 a.m. and the bass is going. And we're trying to sleep because we were up till whatever, and they're like, "How you feeling?" Well, I know you're feeling better than I did then. So, and you say, "I'm feeling all right." "How are you feeling?" let them all pass all their dirty remarks. There is one question I'd really love to ask. Is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind just to save his own belief? Hey! One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. What about the one love, what about the one heart? Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together and fight this holy Armageddon. So when that peace comes, there will be no doom. Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the center of creation. Sing one love. What about the one heart? Let's get together and oh, come on, let's build the energy. Don't go to sleep on me now. I'm gonna feel it. And if I'm not really feeling it, I'm gonna fake it till I make it. Alright, here we go. What about the one love? What about the one heart? Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's feel alright. I don't think Bob did it that way.
We felt it that way.
That was also Chambers'
Chambers
lyrics.
Nice. Thank you so much, Anna. That was a blast. So now it is time for the offering. If you all say with me together, I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses this center, all in it and beyond. And so it is. And on behalf of the center, I bless these gifts that have been so generously given today to support our community, our center, and beyond. And so it is. Is there someone who would like to read our community statement of inclusion? Lance, please.
Community Statement of Inclusion and Affirmation. We, the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living, are a community that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusion, champions inner work, and creates space for brave and vulnerable conversations. We are a community that honors the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocates with people for human rights and dignity for all. Together, we are a community. Did I skip one? Yes. We are a community that blesses each other. And now, together? See the sacredness in all life. Remain learners and listeners so that we may grow together and understands that oneness is not sameness. Now, we are a community. Community is revealed more fully when we love each other.
Well. If you need to read the words, be sure to get on the west side of the room. Click forward. Good job.
I also want to take a moment just to acknowledge my friends Sherry and Landon who are here cruising in their RV throughout the.
Nice. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yes. We've been here before, yes, a few years ago. Yeah. Nice. I appreciate the fact that you dropped in to see us.
We appreciate that you're here.